Hey, welcome back to another video with Planning with Britt. I'm Brittany over here at Planning with Britt, and today we're going to plan out August in my plans by Just Scribble, the B6 size. Yeah, if that's what you're here for, you want to follow along that journey, then stay tuned and we'll get busy next. Okay, so today we're going to plan August in my B6 plans by Just Scribble. I pulled a couple of grid washies to match the stickers that I'm going to use. I have my planner, I have my cute little pencil pouch that my mother-in-law bought me while she was in London. And in here I have some dot markers that I am using with the Makselife gold color. So these are the ones I'm currently using. These are the Shuttle Art brand of the dual tip dot markers. I have the Zig color dot markers, and I had the ones that were all matched up to the Makselife color system, and I had some of them at school. And once I went back to school and tried to check those, I look for those, I'm not sure where they are. So I went ahead and ordered the set from Amazon, and I'm just using it for now. They do make a little bit smaller dot than the Zig, but it has a few more color options available, so I'm fine to use that. Also going to use Love Posh in my planner today. We're going to use this Retro Babe sticker book, and we're going to use some of this kind of vibe, either those sheets or this kind of sheet. So one of these with this color palette kind of up here in the front, or maybe these florals. So something in this realm is what we're kind of looking at today. It says hello summer, but I'm kind of thinking this gives me more like autumn vibes, and that's how I feel about going into August, that we're getting close to autumn, mostly because school is going back in session, so, or at least where I live. So we're gonna do that. We have my planner, and we have a clear set of month sticker sheet from my shop, and we're gonna use the August sticker from there in here on this as well. So let's see, I think we've seen all of this in the last previous videos. Q3, I think I've just decided to put my Q3 dashboard here. I've talked about that very recently here, and I'm also going to put my yearly dashboard there. I still haven't laid those out. I mean, I printed them out to put in here, but I'll either do it on camera or off. But if I do it off, I will show you. I did get this kind of caught up, and I still feel like maybe this is not super functional for me. I'm going to try it again for August and see, but I don't know that I need this bird's eye view of these habits that I'm tracking. Maybe if I was tracking different kind of habits, or something I want to see how often I did a month. And also maybe need to do like not an X, like just leave it blank, because when I look at this, it's really busy and it's really not giving me much data to go from moving forward. But I am going to try some of that for August, and then I'll see kind of where that went. Still using this for content ideas. I haven't put anything out for August yet, but I will, or like listed anything that I need to do. So what we're going to deal with today, I have updated the July goals. I've marked off either checks were completed, X's were not. Check minus means like we kind of got some of it done. That kind of is how that works. Oh, I didn't finish checking off skincare. No, I did not finish checking that off. So we'll do that today in this video, and then we're going to move. And so then I also did my July monthly reflections. We did this here. And so the Makselife reflection questions are what I use. I sell a sheet of those. I just had it. Not sure where I placed it. I sell those in my shop here like this. I sell this monthly Makselife monthly reflection sticker. So they are in my shop. And we just went through and answered my biggest wins for this month were things that are currently working, things that are not working, what I learned this month, what improvements or adjustments do I need going into next month, what am I most grateful for right now, habits I want to nurture, and overall satisfaction. So a couple things we can point out. Some improvements. I want to focus on tiny health and wellness goals or action step items, as well as decluttering or deep cleaning additions to my routines. So my basic daily cleaning happens fine in my routines. All of that gets handled on a daily basis. I have a housekeeper that comes in bi-weekly that does things like the floors and the bathrooms and dust and all those good things. There's just some deep cleaning stuff I would like to clean out, you know, like declutter a cabinet and clean inside there, stuff like that that the housekeeper does not do. I always put this on my weekly actions, and it gets skipped. I mean, let's be honest, it's not something I enjoy doing, and I always think I'll do that later. I don't have time for that right now, and then later doesn't happen for those. So, and then as far as health and wellness goes, I just need to do tiny. Some of the things, we can look at July's goals, but some of the things that I had planned for July just didn't work out super well. So let's take a peek. Walking, I walked one time out of what I've asked. Mostly was the heat. It's been super hot. I walk with the dogs, and it's too hot at the time we were waking up. Now it's time to go back to work. I will be waking up earlier and it will be cooler, but I'll have to make a more adjustment to my schedule to be able to walk earlier than I'm normally used to getting up to go to work. So we'll figure that out. It won't take long before the evenings will cool off, and I'll be able to walk in the evening after work. So that could be an option here also, but I need to like think about this some. And I can walk in a little more heat than the dogs can. So that is something we can, I can also adjust to. Is like, instead of just saying, oh, well, it's too hot for the dogs, maybe I need to go ahead and continue without them. So I need to look at skincare and see how I did here. It's right here on this little sheet. We just flipped past it. I seen it. Let's take a peek and we'll try to fill that in based on that. So AM skincare that first week. Yeah, it didn't really happen. The second week starts here. AM was like probably a check minus, and PM probably could have a check. So let's do, well, I actually just have them together. So we'll just do check minus because I didn't get them all. I did not separate out the AM and PM there, and I probably should in the goals here. But that's something that this is good to see versus this having to fit it all in here. So that's okay too. Let's see for the next week, which would have been on the the 21st. That was 1 week, 2 weeks. All right, we're here. Week 3 for AM skincare. Like, not at all. Nope, I'm looking at the wrong thing. AM skincare, PM skincare. Those look pretty good, both of them. So we'll get a check for that. Week 3. Week 4 started. Oh, I think I'm off a week. This probably wasn't the best place to look for this data, because this I was counting like full weeks, like from the July. Let's look at the July calendar. Like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. We can look in these weeks. All right, we just need to look at 4 and 5. We're gonna just realize that we made a little mistake on those and move on. It's fine. I think this is week 4. AM was decent, PM was both decent. We can get a check for that one, and then we'll look at week 5 now. Let's look back here. Week 5. Week 5 was here. I'll say check minus. We kind of got some skincare in, but not enough. All right, so it's decent enough. I think I filled everything else out. So what we're going to do is we're going to translate what we got done here, what we reflected about for July here, and then we're going to go back and look at quarter 3 goals also, which are marked up here at the top with the goals thing. So we're going to grab, there's annual goals plus quarter 3. We're going to grab all of this info to build some August goals. So we're going to set up the August monthly. We can put in what I know now to put on the calendar. So we'll set up the August monthly. We'll put in the stuff that goes on the calendar that we know, and then we're going to put August goals right here. And so for here, what I think I'm going to do is I kind of would like an August title page like we had back here. Cover page? I really don't know what you call that we did for July. So this page here is just blank because it's on the back of this, and so it doesn't, I don't have that here. So instead of recapping July completely, I think I'd rather have an August cover page and then August goals. I did talk in my last video about maybe making some like highlights here to make sure they get put in my memory keeping, but I really think I would like an August cover page. So we may add the August cover page, and then if I don't like that going forward, we don't have to keep it up. But I do think here I want to use this kind of like as a currently. So it'll be like the end of July, listening, reading, you know, those kind of currently things. And then at the end of August, I can see how that changed. But this will probably be done off camera, most likely. I'm going to give it just a little more thought to decide if I really want this to be a cover page or not before I do it and then be upset. But this will be where I'm putting my August goals. So today, our job is to fill in the August monthly and then August monthly goals right back here on this page. So that's where we're going to be. So we're going to grab some stickers and we're just going to get started here on this set. I'm going to start with some washi on, like I did on July. The July monthly, I put washi down here under the boxes and then added a little bit of deco on the side, and maybe I probably won't add deco here. Maybe I'll add some up in this corner because these days are not in that month. And then we'll get started filling in what we know already. I have most of my calendar handy to me over here on the left hand side of my A6, and then we'll add anything else as it comes in, and then we'll fill out our August goals. So we're going to look in a few places back this way to get our goals filled in. So let's get started. So I want to put this orange grid washi down at the bottom. I see my washi card. It's like I really should look for the washi card, but I actually see it, so that's not a problem. So I did One Book July and I enjoyed that. I did like all of the portions of that. It did get me back into using my planner, which was my goal with trying to do the One Book July. It did make me stay current and keep up. And it helped me simplify. I was hoping I could tear this, but I'm not sure that that's gonna happen right here. It's so tiny. Maybe I can with my tweezers. Let's try and see. If not, I'll get one of the cutters out and we'll cut it that way. Just don't like the way it's kind of angled. I don't mind that it went all the way to the spine. I just don't like that it's angled. Yeah, I'm thinking this isn't gonna do that either. Let's grab a ceramic cutter and we can cut down that piece of washi. Now, my problem with the ceramic cutter is try not to cut through and cut the paper, which does happen to me occasionally. Okay, so now I didn't cut through enough because I was trying to keep from cutting the paper. I can see that it's separated. Let's try with this to kind of hold that part down and pull this part off. Goodness gracious, I should not be having this much trouble. And I still tore at the top. All right, it's still kind of crooked. We're just gonna go with it. We're not gonna spend any more time on that little situation there. So yeah, the One Book July helped me simplify a little bit, and see, I did kind of cheat a little bit because I still use my A6 because that's what I carry with me in my purse when I'm out and about. And in the summertime, there's actually quite a lot of doctor's appointments and things that I go to because I teach school. That is the easiest time to, get a lot of those things done that aren't like critical medical stuff. So I was busy during a lot of that time. I'm gonna tear this in half and put on top, but I don't want a full double set. I'm gonna try to just do some, I always say cute little tearing, but sometimes it does not tear very cute. But we're gonna give it a little bit of a shot. I'm gonna stick this one to the desk. And then we're gonna put this one down here now to the side. I want it to go up above a little bit. I think I do. I'll just try to line it up with about that first grid of the washi there. And I'm okay that it doesn't go all the way to the end. In fact, I'll kind of tear it on this side to do the same. I think this grid washi probably came from Amazon at some point in time. I'm not sure where I had located it, but I've had it for a while. And as much washi as I use and collect, I don't use. And so that's something I'm trying to remedy a little bit in this planner, is to use up the things that I buy. So, okay, that's decent. That corner's a little weird, but I'm gonna leave that at that point for now. And then we're gonna get to those stickers and see kind of what we wanna put on this sidebar. See what we wanna put in the sidebar. So all of July I used Jessica's Love Posh books and really enjoyed using them. They were fun and they were make it kind of easy, and I didn't have to give too much thought other than picking a spread. So I can't decide if I want one of these girls or if I want this or some of these paisley prints. I kind of like the Good Vibes, but I'm afraid it's going to be too wide and hang over a little bit. The moon is very cute too, but it's definitely going to be too big. Let's look on these other sheets and see if there's something else that's slightly smaller. This rainbow's kind of cute. And we could put the van going this direction. This van going straight forward, we could do that. We'll start down here with that one. Okay. I really want to give this rainbow a shot, but I'm not sure. It may be too wide also. But I think I don't mind trimming it off a little bit. I'm gonna put the August sticker and then see if we can fit any other deco. Because I definitely want the August sticker to be here. About that area. We'll trim this one off so it's not hanging off the sheet, and then maybe I can put something. I'm gonna put the other van up there. This other van can go. I don't think I want to cover up days of the week. Yeah, that's better. It's a little crooked, but I think it'll make it. And then we can put one of these butterflies kind of over here. About like that. Okay. I like that decent enough. Let me grab my little washi card and we'll push this little piece of sticker kind of down in the seam a little bit. So we got a little bit of trimming to do on this side of the sheet. I'm gonna grab this and we're gonna do a little bit of trimming. Hopefully I trimmed without cutting the page, because sometimes I do not. All right, so we've got all this done, and now we need to fill in the things that I know that are already happening here. What all did we fill in on July? Okay, yeah, I did use some of this. So I have a payday there, a payday here, and a payday down here, and a payday there. Okay. This one is, that K was kind of interesting up there. I don't really know what that was supposed to look like, but okay. I do need to grab, and somewhere in here, I do need to grab my little piece of paper that I use to blot with so that I'm not smearing things, because this ink does smear on this paper if we don't. If you don't be very careful, so. All right, and this one is a very busy day. All right, we'll cover that one and see, was there something on the 6th? All right, and then here was SPC training, 9 a.m. out in Antelope Valley, which is the equivalent of Meet the Teacher at the high school level that I teach at. Oh, see, I smeared that one. I see that lovely smear hanging out there. So we're going to cover that part up a little bit with the paper, and then we'll move through this one. So here is the first day of school for students where I teach. If you haven't watched anything else, and you don't follow me anywhere else, I teach high school science. Sometimes, always chemistry. That's my #1 main subject. That's what my degrees are in. And then I usually teach a supplemental science every year. This coming school year will be I'm also teaching forensic science as well as chemistry. And then I adjunct with the adjunct to teach a dual credit college chemistry class with the junior college that is close to us. It's not here in town. It's a little like hour and 20 minutes away, but it's the closest that we get. And this is going to be very fun. First day of school, first 3 days of school, and I have after school evening events those 3 days, which should just be tons of fun. But all right, hair appointment on the 15th at 3:15, and then let's move down. On the 21st, I'm having an injection in my back, so I'm going to take the day off. My injection's midday. I have to fast, so I'm not going to teach in the morning and then go do that. And it's in a different town, a little ways away. All right, and so other than that, Carmen, the housekeeper, will be here on the 27th, and I've got paydays marked. That's really all that I have to put in here that I know of at the moment. And things could change or fill up or get busier, but at the moment, that's where we're at. So I'm going to leave this here. We're going to close. We actually need to go the other direction, don't we? Yep, and we're gonna set up some August goals. So we're gonna be looking back a little bit on my July goals because a lot of things will stay pretty much the same. And we may go back and look at the Q3 goals here. So for personal and Q3, I said rebuild simple routines, which is kind of what we're dealing with there. AM and PM routine, skincare routine, weekly reflections is pretty much a routine also. Weekly planning, and I've been marking that on my weeklies. I have been marking weekly plan as well. Let's see if I can find one where you can see. I have been marking to weekly plan, which is part of that. If I don't plan, it's hard to reflect, so I will probably add that also there. And then read 5 books. And so I am getting my hair colored, and I probably will have both of those things done this month. Also, I usually try to do a mani every other week and a pedicure every week. I have not painted my nails in months since school's out, but that will be coming part of the thing coming really quickly. So my morning routine, planner, scripting, quiet time, AM skincare, monthly pedicure, PM skincare, weekly manicure, or bi-weekly, sorry, hair color, monthly, weekly reflections, read 5 books. So basically this here encompasses that. For fun and recreation, we said prioritize small fun moments to recharge. Wednesday memory keeping, a 1-day trip. That has already happened. And then Zoom or FaceTime my besties twice a month. I didn't do this in July, but I will make sure we put it on the list for August. Work and learning, prep for back to school, which is already pretty much here. Look at systems, I'll set up my teacher planner. That is done. Prep the collab sale for the plan. I've done that also. This was earlier in the quarter. Design what feels good. I have not been designing. I've kind of taken a break, and that's what feels good right now. And stay 2 weeks ahead once school starts. I'm pretty good about doing that unless something chaotic happens. Deepen connections through small, consistent acts of intention. Weekly check-ins, monthly family time, date night, 2 times a week, and then an Amarillo trip. This has already happened. This goes on pretty free. I mean, like, we're pretty good at that. Health and wellness. Yeah, we're going to walk. We want to try to use some dumbbells. We're going to dance. I'm laying off on the dumbbells right now until I find out some more info about what's going on with my back. Same for yoga at the moment. I'm doing some light stretching, but I'm not going to go back to the full-on yoga class because what we chatted about recently with the back doctor is some of these stretches and movements are not good for me, and then I want to track these things. I've started trying to track water and food and protein. I've not done good at protein or water tracking, like a little bit. I do good at drinking the water. I just don't do good at that. And I do track my vitamins, but I've not been tracking my sleep. But now that I'm going back to work, we'll be able to get back on a better schedule with that. So for here, stay rooted in intention, aligned with what truly matters. I'm trying to journal 3 times a week and a little bit of hobby time and reflection. So reflections are happening. Journaling is kind of iffy, and I haven't really made much time for any other hobbies, but I will. And then here is where I'm talking about trying to declutter a little bit and do a little bit of zone cleaning, and I'm doing some office declutter. And then this stuff here, I know what those goals are, so we're going to list some of these goals out here for this. And I feel like July's goals were pretty representative of the things I wanted to deal with. So let's find the labels for the goal groups, the Makselife labels, and hey, look, here they are. All right, so we have these, and I have these in my shop as well. They are the Makselife Area gold sticker sheets, and I use them on the annual goals, on the Q3 goals to label. I used them here, I used them here, and then I used them here, and I'm going to use them again here. So we're going to start with personal, and then we'll move down from there. Okay, looks like I may need a different sheet of those. Yeah, I tore a couple stickers when I was taking them off. I was being, I guess, rough. I really don't know. Normally I don't have any trouble, but did we just lay that right underneath there last time? Silver tab. Yep. Looks like we just set it down right here and we got to listing those out. So I listed them here and then I used, that is not my pen, that's the cutter. And then I used the colored dot markers for things I wanted to track. And they're not in there. They're right here beside me. Get it together, Britt. Come on. Okay, let's see for personal. We'll kind of use the same ones we had for July, at least in this section, I know for sure. So AM and PM routines. And tracking this one may be kind of redundant or leaving it here because I pretty much do them like they really are routines where I don't have much deviation from doing them. Like I pretty much always get them done. But sometimes when I take stuff off of here like that, then I find that it's a problem. So we're gonna just see. So I got AM PM routines. So we're gonna have 1 pedicure, and then we're gonna do 2 manicures, and then we'll put a hair color. And that's already scheduled, so we know for sure that's going to happen. We're going to put weekly reflections here. And read 5. Well, I don't know. I do a book a week. Let's take a peek at the August monthly so we can see how many weeks. So we counted this in the month of July when I did my other goals. So we'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will just be 4 weeks. And also that helps me when I'm putting my little bubbles down here to know that I'm only going to need 4 to track things on a weekly basis. So there's read 4 books. And we'll go on to the next section. Fun and recreation is up next. And so this sheet comes with 4 sets of everything. So depending on how you use them, you could make it last a little longer than I do, but using them on the monthly goals well has made me go through them a little bit quicker. So I still would like to try to memory keep on Wednesdays. And I'm doing this to like force myself to not do work for my shop on Wednesday evening and to memory keep because it's something that's fun for me. It's something I enjoy and it helps me avoid burnout. So, all right, so we're gonna put this on here. Let me just put 1 this month. I know my quarter says twice, but we haven't really done it at all much. And so if we don't start small, then it'll be overwhelming. We probably won't, I won't prioritize it. Okay, so let's go back to this and see, was there anything else in quarter 3? Nope, I think we got all of those. All right, so let's look down to the next category, which is work and learning. And this may change a little bit because I'll actually be back at work now. So I struggle with this category as far as like, do I put my shop stuff in here? Although I use HB90 to track shop goals and things. But sometimes I really just need to combine them in both because I am one whole person and I live one whole life. And so, yeah, it kind of has to be there in both places. So I am going to list my hobby mode reflections because that's happening in this planner, even though it's questions about my shop. I'm going to go ahead and mark it here so that I'll remember to get it done and I can check it off there. I'm going to put the little dots underneath there. I did not write small enough for this one. Oh, I put them underneath last time too. So we'll do this one. And then I'm going to say 2 weeks ahead at work. And I'm only going to track 3 weeks of that because that's how long we'll be like at school working before the end of the month. And that's really about all of that for this category, I think, for now. Family and relationships comes next. Ugh. Anytime we hit that ampersand in the sticker, it wants to tear on me. I gotta pull easier. So family relationships, mostly like weekly check-ins, date nights, yeah. and a monthly family time. And we usually find a way to get that in without too much hassle. So let's see what we want to list there. We're going to put weekly check-ins. Yeah, weekly check-ins. And this is just reminding me to text, call, communicate with my people, however that needs to happen. And it changes all the time. We'll put date nights. 2 times per week. And that's going to be about it for this one. Okay. And as far as a date night goes, like, it doesn't have to be really like elaborate or, you know, whatever. For us, just intentionally, we both own a business and we both work a lot. So it's just for us to intentionally, like, hey, we're going to stop working at this time tonight so we can sit down and watch a show, or we can watch a movie, or we can hang out in the pool for a little while together. But it's just being intentional about making sure that we make time for each other. And we're both decently good about it. I'm going to put walk 2 times per week, but I don't know how that's going to look at this point. I really don't. So we're going to say track water. I'm going to list these separately because I've been listing them together, and I'm doing decent at tracking water and not at protein. And then I can't decipher my work. Am I good here or not good here? So let's see. I'm going to let this dry a little bit, and I'm going to go back with markers and put these in. And I may have made my column over here a little too close, but we're going to see. 1, 2, 3, 4 for that week. I should have separated AM and PM. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and do that there. 1 pedicure, 2 manicures, 1 hair color, 4 weeks of reflection, and 4 books. I count audiobooks and read books, so that's kind of how that comes up to that number. If you don't count audiobooks as reading, then I'm sorry, but I do. So yeah, work and learning. Let's get some dots here. Hobby mode reflections. We need 4 weeks of. And we're going to do 3 weeks of that one. All right, weekly check-ins. All right, there's all of those. Okay, so in order to keep this video from being, we're just gonna go. This is the last thing we're gonna do together today, so this will be fine. Let's put some dots here and then we'll move on. So walk twice a week. We're gonna have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So track water, we'll have 4. Track protein, we'll have 4. And sleep, we'll have 4. All right, that's all I'm going to put in for health and wellness. I'm not going to list. Last month we had here, we had yoga listed also. I'm not going to do any of that until I'm done with this. My follow-up after the injection is September 4th, so September goals, we'll add in whatever the doctor feels like I can do. I think my next step is going to do some physical therapy, so that'll probably be the exercise I'm getting. And then I'm sure they will help me determine what I can handle doing after that. So the next category is spiritual and personal growth. All right, spiritual and personal growth. We're going to stick right down here. Yeah, we'll just line it up. We already got our dots on the other side, so we're good there. And I think we'll probably stick to July's plan and just put journal. I'm just going to put twice a week. Actually, you know what? We're going to journal once a week. I've got to remember how crazy August is for me as far as just exhaustion when I head back to work, busy, and the crazy stuff that goes on with work. Plus, it's busy season for the hospital board that I'm on. It's budget season for that, and it's a lot. It's a lot. So I need to just keep all of this really, really tiny, or I'm not going to make it. I should have done the walk only 1 time a week, but if I get at least 1 time a weekend, I will be pleased. All right, for financial in there, we did track spending weekly, pay bills, and extra payment. That's going to be exactly the same. Yeah. So I said track spending. right, let's find the green one. So track spending, we'll have 4 of those. Oh, not done with this one yet. This one is a once and that one is a once. Okay, and finally, the last category is physical environment. And this one is probably going to be super tiny. I may just do like 2 things a month here this month in general and just kind of let that ride, because I know, I just know how rough August is for going back to work. So in July, I said declutter 3 hours weekly and zone clean twice a week. So all we're going to put here is zone clean 1 time a week. And these are supposed to be like 15-minute cleaning sessions, so they shouldn't even take very long. So I've made a note to myself on my monthly reflections to try to add this into my evening or AM routine so that it becomes more automatic and I don't have to like feel like it's another thing to do. So that's kind of my plan for there. So, all right, so we've got the August monthly planned out. We've got the August goals planned out. This will be wins. It's what I put in my July section. I'm not sure if I showed you that or not. I put my biggest wins for July up there. I got back into planning. I made time for me. I had lots of friend and family time in July. So I will do something with this page, either an August cover page or we'll recap July in like memory style. I don't know. This will be currently for July. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do. This will be wins at the end of the month. This will fill up as the month goes on. And yeah, so my next video will be planning for the week of August the 4th. Wow, time is flying. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to hang out with me. And if you like what you see here, then go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you can know when I am uploading and follow along on this journey. Thank you again. Bye.